Hello, and welcome. My name's Derek, and I sell physical media on eBay, and make videos about that. This is a What's Sold video. Stop the music. I already had this open, and I wasn't going to make a video. Then there was a sale that came up that makes it over 200, a little over 200, and I still don't meet my criteria for why or whatever it is for me to make videos, either a $100 sale or $400 total for the day. But it's kind of twofold, and I wasn't going to make a video because, this guy right here is a little older today. I mean, everybody is a little older today. That's older today, right? But I guess it's that special day. Even shaved for that. Well, actually, I shaved yesterday because I went to my dad's. Well, I went to Boardsort and I got $390 from the stuff I got. I'm not going to get too crazy in that, but there is one thing that I did learn there, talking to JD, the guy in the warehouse who was weighing me in. Said anything that's on any boards, IC chips, tantalums, BGA chips, any of that stuff that's on the board, keep it on there, because if you take it off, it downgrades the board. So if you had a high perfuel, it's now low perfuel, which is a $2.50 difference in a lot of stuff. So I learned that. I'm probably out a little over $100. What you would want to take off is if half of the board or a third of the board has IC chips and has BGAs and stuff like that on there, because then at that rate, you're going to get quite a bit more money, and to lose $1 on the board weight as opposing to getting $10 arbitrary in the weight of the chips. But then you have to also weigh in is, razor blades and risking chance to slice your fingers open. Is that really worth it? But I mean, I'm out $100. It's not the 2,000 that I thought, mainly because how much I thought I had by all the work that I was doing. I thought I had a whole lot more, and I didn't. But still, for me to get this stuff and take it apart and be able to sell the plastic, the steel, the aluminum out of most of those, or I'm going to end up getting $10 in between the scrappable stuff, not including like the circuit boards. And, some of them I've gotten down to where I can get apart in 5, 6, 7 minutes. So if I can even get $10 for one that's 7 minutes, I mean, there's at least 7 to 8 of those. $80 an hour? I mean, it'd be great to have a total amount, constantly go through it, but just for free stuff for me to go drive around once a week. But it is a sales video. Let me get back on track. So I already got these two, and then I hear my phone go off, and it's it's a general email, and it could be from eBay or anything else. But since when I wake up, I send out 10, 12 offers. I'm like, well, let's see what it is. And somebody sent a counter offer on a small book set, older book set, which is a good one for me to talk about. That way people can pick up on it. So let's get to what I have here. And there are 8 other sales before that last one came in. So this is Twin Sisters. These are the old cases like this. Not all of them, not all the old DVDs that are in these cases are going to be good. Again, it has barcode and scan. Now, I don't care what cases it's in. If it has a barcode and if the disc is in there at least, if it's damaged enough to where I can repair it, this did not need repaired at all. That's absolutely mint. But if it would need repaired, I have something that makes discs better. It's not the best repair or resurfacer, but at the $240 with warranty I paid for that beats paying $5,000 to $10,000 for the next machine up. All right, then we have this oldest living Confederate widow. Tells all. $10. So how I end up with some of the stuff that sells for $9, $10, not exactly the selling rate, but if I got something like that, that's some things I'll pay $1 and change for if they're likely to sell for $12. If it's going to be likely 10 and under, I had it paid little for it, but I try not to really do a whole lot. But if it's something that's likely to sell for $10, and I may pay 50 cents for it, but they sell within a month, or whichever it may be, they sell quick. don't mind. I mean, ultimately, it's still going to be money. And even if they don't sell for a year, it's still something back. But most people are going to want what they buy to be gone within a month. At least me. So CDs, I do a lot of price rotation over 6 months. A lot of my math is mathing for 6 months. Most stuff is 6 months. Books I'll keep around for a little longer, and I'll apply less scrutiny with the books when it comes down to what I want to call, what I want to take down, because they are a lot more specific, a lot more. A lot of books are more esoteric in regards to why people want them, as opposed to the CDs. Chasing the Moon. That's a good segue. D25. Chasing the Moon. 15. Yeah, I was down. Like I said, went down to my dad's. Stopped at his place. Um, nice little bit of property out where he's at down there, in not too far outside of Canton. I didn't see the horse. He has a horse there in the barn, but I didn't go out and go see the horse. But a couple dogs and a cat. Forget its name. I thought that there was a cat that was laying down by the patio, the front porch. And when I went walking up the right there, I saw a cat, and I made some sound. Cat didn't move, so I start scuffing the concrete down there, like, "Hey, hey, hey!" Cat didn't move. I went down to it and was like, I blew on it, and it just went. Looked like an old cat, just chilling outside. All right, D36, another DVD, Enzo. Now, there's only so many in here. And I've had this Gunsmoke. I've probably had that. I don't know how long I've had this Gunsmoke. It's missing one. This is when I had one of the black. So I've got these racks and some that are black, and there's a couple of those in there. And then I have all types of other shelving units out in the storage unit. It's not really storage, it's a carport. So the carports are open air carports. And then where the back wall would be, there's a door for storage. So that's storage. And they're not big storage in there. But I had a black rack, and that was down. Well, you can't see it, but down against the wall, beside where the washer and dryer is at, because we had a stackable washer and dryer then. And I probably only had 20 boxes of in between books and CDs and DVDs on that one shelf. That's how long I've had these. So a lot of this stuff is going to be going to exchange. These won't, because I haven't like officially taken them down yet. But the bin I already have. Then I've got to go in and go through all these boxes and do the actual inventory checking. So this is going to be box C21. Well, not this box. So we'll just say this one. So this will be D36. And I type in D36 into eBay on my page, and it's going to show D36. And I make sure what's in here is in here. If it's not supposed to be in here. But at that time, as I'm looking at stuff, I just realized, like, yeah, I've definitely had this $12 multi-disc set of Gunsmoke way too long. And it should have already done sold. Oh, Bugs and Friends Sing the Beatles is actually a CD. I mean, you can have that in DVD, I suppose, but it's in CD, but I have it marked D25. So the good thing about this inventory system is if I mislabel that first letter, if I know it's a CD, it's going to be where CDs are. I could have put a CD. It's just a typo error, and it's easy to fix. Well, I don't have to fix it because it's sold, so as soon as it's gone, I don't have to worry about it again. But Bugs and someone else, Bugs and Friends, some things else. BJ Thomas. Actually, I got another BJ Thomas. And I got some stuff yesterday, actually. All kinds of sidetracked here. So this little book. So what I do? I stopped at Boardsort, sold my stuff, and they paid it in a check. They didn't pay cash; paid in a physical paper check. And then I went to the Habitat of Humanity, which is like 5 minutes up the road there. They said they've been there for 5, 6 years. I haven't been on that side of town or anywhere really in Alliance in 15 years. It's been a long time. So I was like, yeah, I haven't been here in 10 plus years. So no idea. And then I went to the Goodwill, which has been there. That Goodwill's been there for a while. And that's on the whole other side of town, closer to where my dad lives at. I found a few things there. But I'm not going too crazy on this. These books were 25 cents. So all smaller media, books, CDs, smaller paperbacks, 25 cents. Oh, no. It's $3 for the stuff I got there. But it was like either 25 cents or 50 cents. I didn't get anything that was $1. And that would have been just the big books. So this is a student handbook, State Teachers College, Harrisburg, Virginia, 1936. So just picking that up, it's a small college from West Virginia. It has a little paper, because they didn't have tablets back then. They didn't have smartphones back then. Heck, they barely had electricity. Another little fold out. So for 25 cents, I just grabbed it, and I'll look it up, and if it's worthwhile, cool. If not, goes to half price. The Mud Hen and the Walrus. Not exactly. The only thing that really caught me is this dude's extra long neck. When I'm just sifting, so this isn't really do me a whole lot on this because that's a regular font, a regular print, regular boldness and color, regular everything. Almost besides kind of that greenish color. But when I pulled the book out and I saw it, that's the thing that got my attention. And there used to be like a auto parts store there. I think it still is in Akron. It's called Giant Auto Parts, and this guy has like a really elongated neck. I was like, what's up with that? So then I typed it up. But yeah, it's like a $15 to $20 book. Not a whole lot sell, but for a quarter, they do sell. And that's the biggest point. You can get a lot of stuff for a quarter. A lot. Doesn't sell. Doesn't matter how much you paid for it. Those do not go there. This Old McDonald sing-along. So I think, I don't know if this is the one. I sold one not too long ago for like $30. And there were a couple of them, and they have different artwork. But so if this is the one that's less, don't really matter, because this one has, all these inserts with it, right? So people would want it more for a lot of this old advertising, old images and things. There's plenty of people who go out and go buy what's otherwise blank but recorded VHS and recorded cassettes and listen to that stuff and curate that stuff. Curate those old commercials, the old this. There's another form of making whatever transpired, whatever was recorded, now available to be seen and again, right? But I got this one that was also a quarter. Waited until dark. This is a playbill, play services. I want to say it's the playbill. May not be. I just typed it up and looked, and this cover sells for like $15. It might just be the written play. I don't think it's the actual playbill. Also by Frederick Knott. Okay. Dial M for Murder. We may know that one. Write Me a Murder. We may know that one. So that's about $15, 25 cents. So the $15 sales they don't really translate to a lot. But if you're paying $3 or if you're paying a quarter, that's $2 difference, roughly. Under that. So you're just making a little bit more. And if you go to have to throw it away because it just never sells, it's not that, it doesn't hurt that much. And not like $2 item you have to throw away hurts. But $6.07, $15.90, $21.22, and then $3 at the other place. the Habitat. And that would be for this stuff right here, the Silent Voice. So this is Blu-ray. All I did, I typed up Silent Voice. I did not type up a Steelbook. So I'll do that now. I think itself is like $20. I didn't see if it was any Steelbook. So Silent Voice, Steelbook. Well, it actually came up as Steelbook. Blu-ray. So it's Steelbook, and so this is DVD and Blu-ray. So brand new, they're $25. So it's about $20. Also, we get, and I'm not gonna go crazy on these. So I got the sealed Aretha Franklin. This has two of them. So these Scoobies on themselves, just the disc only of the different whichever. I think that these were, Kellogg. Is either one of those things you would redeem points for, or it'd come in like cereal or something. And I mean, both of them need resurface, but they're each like, they can be $30 roughly. I think I either still roughly Scooby. So I either still have one listed or it done already sold. Dawkins and Dawkins, Lola Rent soundtrack. Most of these are only like $15, $15, $20. And that's the bread and butter. Is like if I didn't buy stuff that was $15, $20, a lot of stores I go in, I would leave with nothing, which would be very moot for me to even, the entire thing would be moot. So if I'm in there, I'm picking some stuff up that's $12, $15 because that's the starting point. And sometimes I will remember, like, oh, I'm making a stack. Let me make sure this $12 one goes down here because I really don't want it because one might sell in 90 days. Maybe, it just gives me the option to leave one behind. So start with it. All right. So this fourth wall. So a lot of this is bread and butter. Another one of the Demon Hunter, and this one is called the Triptych, Tych, Triptych. But I have this whole other set right here. That's the same thing, and it has this CD in it. This one's actually barcode, so I'll leave that with this. And it has multiple CDs in this, and I forget what I have this listed for, like $200 for the entire set because it's a deluxe edition. I think it is $200 because this deluxe edition in itself has sold through on Terapeak for like $150. And then there's a couple other CDs in here. So this is like $20 used. DC Talk. 15-20 bucks. It's League of Extraordinary Gentlemen on how common movie, but a lot of times Blu-rays, I will just look up Blu-rays, right? Because I mean, never really know on Blu-ray. There's not a lot of them are limited run. Hold on a minute. Wait, what? All right, used are like $10. This one's sealed. Has a Walmart sticker on top. 40 have sold. 1/5 are new, but minimum is $15, and then it goes up to like 20 something, 25. But if I go into currently listed, so 15 have sold. Currently listed as for new or 5 is 5, and they go to $35, $40. So that's where you're searching on the PC or laptop to have they sold for $40. That's all I'm worried about because if they have, mine will be listed right around that. So that was a good grab from the Goodwill. Colossus, The Forbidden Project. Definitely an old-timey 70s movie, maybe. 1970. And, that's not too bad for a Blu-ray. Ghost Ship. It's nothing spectacular. I don't even think it's even. I know I didn't get it to sell. Yeah, because it's only $7. But and I mentioned it right around Halloween or around that time last year. It's like Ghost Ship is just one of those that great opening scene, interesting story. Not really like the awesome best acting and everything, but it's just that whole opening scene and then some of the graphics and effects. Cool movie. And I could down talk it as much as I want, but I wanted to watch it past couple Halloweens. Found one at that. 50 cents. Cyberjack with Michael Dudikoff. Gotta love some Order B movies. Two listed, 25 and $30. You can last them all day long. They don't sell. Two sold, 15 and 16. It's enough for me to pay $1 for, or 50 cents. Maybe this was at the Goodwill, so it's enough for me to pay $2.49 for. Yeah, it'll be $15 sale, but they do sell. Two listed, two have sold. And maybe they have sold for much higher. There's Rocket. Boogeyman 5-movie collection. Again, multi-disc stuff, compilation stuff like that. It's like $15. Hey, that was it. Hey. And then the stuff I got the other day, which this is not a sourcing video by any means. I just knew that there was a few things that honorable mentions. All right, now back to Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. You're so fun. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. 36. Oh. Bugs and Friends, baby. Mickey and the Beatles. She loves you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's got birthday. I know about that. That's today. Happy birthday, me. Hello, goodbye. With a little help from my friends. What would you do if I sing out of tune? Just stand up and walk out on me. Lend me your ear now. $13. Sing you a song, and you know I will sing out of key. Yeah. B1. Got to get a couple books. All right, get back over here. This Good Maine Food. Older cookbook. Still a book. I look at cookbooks. Some of them are good enough to look up, especially if they're older and in really good condition. $23. C40, Jazz Hour, Louis Armstrong. Oh, there it is. All right, Louis Armstrong, 21. So seal definitely helps. And through all the different CDs, look at it's one of the cover art that I hadn't seen before, and it's sealed. I'll always scan everything sealed except Forrest Gump. Marshall Crenshaw, C22. Maybe? Nope. It is open. Marshall Crenshaw and Gene. There's Paul Revere and the Raiders. It's signed by all of them. Plus Jamie Revere. So everybody there, sign that. So this is like their own independent release of like jams and one-offs and B-sides. Special order from like fans. They had to order it. Marshall Crenshaw. Daughter's up there watching the Fallout series with her boyfriend. Because I started watching it when it came out, and then I watched a handful of the first episodes of season one. I told my wife about it because I mean I've played Fallout. I mean I played GT and a lot of those other free roam games. Just don't really play a whole lot of games, but Fallout just has interesting mechanics within it that I like. And you got my wife and I got her to watch it, and she really dug it with the storyline, a lot of the other effects that are on it. And now it's been probably like 6 months since we watched it, and she was bringing to the attention of my daughter and stuff, or our daughter, and it's like, hey, you guys should probably watch that. And so they got hooked on it. Like, oh man. Marshall Crenshaw, $14. So I don't think you can hear the melody, but I can hear some old Fallout music up there. Telarc, George Bauman Kloss in C40. All right. It is open. It's not any of those. George Bauman Kloss, original work. Is that it? Yep. I mean, two cellos hanging out right there, and no barcode. What would you think that would trigger me to want to look this up for it to eventually sell for, $25? This is Tel Deck. I don't know if it's a subsidiary of Telarc. Doesn't look like it. It just looked to me. It just looked like it just had enough to it. But like, yeah, well, it doesn't have barcode. Worst I could do is look it up. I'm going to spend the same 8 seconds doing that as I would be finding something else that's not going to be worthwhile to sell. But $25. And then these books down here. So these three I got at the Goodwill in Ashtabula. Peeled the sticker off. Kind of ruined the backs. Keeping the sticker on longer would have even caused more damage. So picked them up. We have Wizard of Earthsea, and I sold one of these in a hardcover, like a hard library bind. A different cover. There's a thicker, like a permabind, and I've talked about permabinds before. That much thicker, stronger hardcover. Sold one by, I want to say maybe it was like $100. At thrift, you find it at a thrift store for a couple dollars. But these would have been either $2 each or $1 each, whatever they were at that point. Somebody came in with an offer, and they were at $88, and they came in on an offer for $75. My system, the system I have set automatically accepted it. Fair enough to me. But these three older paperbacks, right, just at a thrift store, you can have, and these three are within this story arc. And Puffin Publisher. Being familiar with Ursula Le Guin, helps a little. I'm not a reader, never really was, by selling. It's just one of those things you recognize, like you will recognize um, a music artist or certain XYZ. You just know, like, yep. And so this is the same thing that applied. I knew that, let me go ahead and give these a look. They are an older version of it. When are they from? So I don't misspeak. Thought it'd be easier for me to look at the title where I don't have a year listed. 1968. I think the other one was 65, one was 64. 1973, then this one was like the 70s as well. So late 60s, 70s, I mean, her stuff, 72. Her stuff is older than that, but just for, a three-piece collection for somebody who is going to want it for a collection. And some of these books absolutely individually, books, different copies, different prints can easily be 50, 60, 100 bucks. That's why I like books and finding the ones that are, no well, there was no barcode in the 60s or 70s. Well, there was a barcode, and it was if you're there sitting in the stool drinking with your buddies, the code is that don't be a stupid drunk. That's the barcode. That's what it was back then. So 75 bucks for those, and that got me over the 200 to 220, or it's at 225. One international, I believe. Speaking of international, I don't know if anybody else. Yeah, only one international. So I got the offer, since I promote off-site, and my typical is only $5 a day, is what I have it set max at. And I sell a lot of international, and there'll be someone who'll say and think like, well, if you're getting charged per click for that item, and it's $14 item, and you eventually have $14 wrapped up in that, all that turns into be, let me say it like this. So I go out and I buy stuff, and that stuff, no matter what it is, I could just do this, close my eyes, and just hit list, right? What it turns into is money. So although I spend $150 a month on offsite promoted, the amount of money, it doesn't matter the item, the amount of money, the end result is always that payout. How much money you spent, how much money you got. If you're $14 into an item and you're going to be out $4 as opposed to throwing it away, so money in, money out. That's the way on how I process what I do. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that would be one out of thousands and thousands and thousands of items. Yeah, you may lose something because you got clicks, you got charged $2 for a month for clicks for an item that still hasn't sold, and it keeps what international allows for sales through the offsite promoted outweighs the potential arguments that some people would come up with. Be like, oh, it's like, I pay $150 a month to have $1,000+ in international sales. How much more is it additional? Well, if it's at least 150 net out of what else sells to pay for the 150, it's a wash. Anything more, and all I have to do is just be like, yes, and I'm done. Yes, promote off-site, $5 a day, done. But I got a little promo that is 50% off. So instead of it being $5 a day, when it reaches that cap for the $5, then it'll reset. And then it goes to that cap again. And that depends. However that works out exactly. And an additional 15%. I may not have read the terms and services correct, but I believe it's 50% off the offsite, and then 15% off anything that's charged. So what would be $1 is now 50 cents, is now 7 cents less than that 50 cents. It's 42 cents. Okay. So I got that, and there's that. It's probably a tad longer video, heck of long. All right. Get stuff packaged, get this done. Going down to my mom's, and then, which she's down by the blimp hanger. Hit a couple stores before we go there. and then head back up. And yep, that's going to wrap that one up. Like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned. Learn some authors. Understand that strange and weird and kind of obscure and spooky and suspenseful and horror and things like that. That merits taking up a little bit of time for you to look it up. Tell me thinking going up, comment down below, subscribe, share. It's all free. It helped me, help you, so you can help other people learn about selling physical media on eBay. Appreciate it. Thank you. Happy birthday to me.